Hey Procraftinators, this is Adam, and I took over Amanda's craft cave to make her a birthday card, as her birthday's coming up. So I'm using her Copic markers, which I gotta say, having used them now, are actually pretty nice. I can't quite get the concept of using them to make something beautiful, but well, we'll get through it and make this card anyway. So I'm trying to put lots of color in there, trying to show you the end of the marker so you know what colors I used to make this beautiful card. Now, you might look like a 5-year-old did it, or what you're thinking a husband is capable of, but I think the end result, turned out alright. But I don't think it's quite good enough, so we'll go ahead and make a real card. Yeah, look at that 5-year-old quality right there. Yeah, definitely not gonna do, so we'll go ahead and make a real card. Here's the front of that real card that I ended up with. There's some mistakes, but the inside right there I think looked pretty good. There's some elements that I'm quite happy with. Anyway, so here's some blending I did that I'm going to cut out with dies. The two eyes at the top are going to be suns. What looks like a smile or mouth is going to be some clouds. So here I'm doing some blending for what's going to be the body of a dragonfly. So I'm doing 3 different ones so I can kind of pick which one I think turned out the best or has the best color that I want to use that matches. So I did that blending. The blending to the left there is going to be for the wings, and I'm trying to put the colors in, but I probably forget later on in the video, so you probably don't want to copy this color combination anyway, so it's probably not a big deal. So here I'm sizing up the blends I did for the suns, making sure they'll fit. Here I'm going to make sure the body fits over what I just blended, and then I'm going to find out that what I blended for the wings isn't quite long enough, so I'm going to go ahead and add some to it. And for that body there, because that was kind of thin. Ended up not using that one, so it's kind of a waste, but yeah, would have been more wasteful if I needed it. So there's the top one. I think is the one I ended up using. Alright, so now these scissors are some kind of sunflower. They cut it nice and like a little jagged edge, I guess, with some little quarter circles. They're through the Magic TV. Look at that, got that all cut out with one nice swipe there. Love the Magic TV. So here I'm doing with a nice dark green. I had no idea how long it actually took to get this color on there. I thought it was a much faster process, and I probably tried to make it too fast, which resulted in some blotchiness later on. You'll see. So I'm trying different techniques just to try to get more color on there faster, because, well, faster's better. Apparently not in card making. It doesn't work that way. But the end result I think worked out alright. So I'm doing 2 pieces so I can do some layering on the front. So here I'm trying to go with another shade of green, or maybe some blues. I ended up mixing some blues and greens in there just to try to vary the color in there so it's more like natural grass. If you look at a hillside, there's some variation there. Unless you look at mountains that are really far away, they're all kind of the same color. So there's the face again. I'm going to cut it up so I have different pieces to work with, so I'm not running paper through that's not getting cut in the die cutter. That way I don't end up with some kind of debris that are putting marks in when I'm not cutting out. So I'm going to run the suns through first, do that off camera. Here I'm cutting out the part that's going to be the clouds. It doesn't really look like it has a lot of color there, but it actually does. So I cut out one set of wings. I'm going to cut out the second set of wings. And this mirror may not be the one I messed up and had to start over, because I didn't realize that, well, you kind of have to do a symmetrical opposite for the wings, so I had to do an extra couple sets to figure out. So I had 2 left wings and 2 right. So here's the supervisor, large gray kitty that has to be a part of everything. So have to give him some pets and scratches and get him moving on. So here I'm doing some more blending for the extra wings that I had to make. So we're just doing some different colors to get different variations, because dragonflies, they have that little bit of a multicolored, variegated color to them. So doing some blending and trying to get something to look right. I tried all her little toys and brushes and, you know, dauber pads and everything to try to get something that would get color on there fast but even. So here's the front. I'm going to place everything out so that I can kind of see if it's going to fit. I love those low clouds. They're just cuter than a bunch of kittens in a basket playing with some yarn or something. Little smiley faces. Those are not dark rain clouds. So looks like it's going to be pretty full, but I think I'll use some of those clouds on the inside. So here's where I'm finding that the dragonfly is just too big for the front. That would be a huge prehistoric sized dragonfly, but we're going to use it, so we're going to put it together anyway. So the picture of this dragonfly that was on the stamp case showed the wings in the front and the back, like a CH-46 or 47 Chinook helicopter. They're not at the front and the back. They're both at the front, like a Sikorsky Sky Crane helicopter. They're pretty close together. So that's how I'm going to do it. So I glued them right, kind of one on top of the other, and then I'll come up with a little thing on later on to put on top of the wing so it's not all jaggedy looking. So here I'm doing the inside of the card. This is actually the top half. I have some paper taped down, as you can kind of see, that I used to keep from going too low on that yellow color. So I'm going with a nice sunset type of theme here. So I'm going darker as I get to the top, and I'll go to an orangish and reddish, and then at the very top I'm going to try to work in some purple. And it's probably not going to turn out how I want, but I don't think it turned out that ugly in the end. So as you can see, some little bit of blotchiness because, you know, I'm a guy and we try to get things done a little rushed. So the purple looks a lot darker here, but it is a lot darker than I wanted. But I make it work later. I made it work for what I wanted. So here we're just trying to blend everything together a little bit better, pull everything in so there's not such harsh lines. So here I'm using a stencil that I found on her desk that looked like it hadn't been used in a while, so I figured, oh, what the heck, we'll give it a shot. So it has two sides, one with a little bit shorter, so I'm just using both just to put some texture, layered textures in there. As you can see, there's a little spot on there by my finger that I got some ink on there, but I'm just going to cover it up with a stamp. That's the easiest way. So we're going to do some heat embossing. Now I was told, make sure the heat gun is very hot and warmed up. So best way I can think of, make sure it's warmed up, make a snack. So I got some nice jalapeno cheese there, and make a little bit of cheese toast to make sure that heat gun's warmed up. Because, you know, I guess it's really important that the heat gun is really warm when you're using it for heat embossing. So there we go, a snack and making sure it's warm. So I'm doing several colors on this tree that I found from her Lavinia collection. And so I'm doing the trunk as a nice sparkly copper color. The tree is going to be like a glitter, and then at the base there's some rocks, so I'm going to do a silver for those. And I'm just using this little tool because I want to control where the glitter or the embossing powder goes. So look at that, it's coming together pretty good, I'd have to say, for my first heat embossing experience. I like how the glitter goes, and I probably got some. I probably didn't use enough of that whatever baby powder stuff she told me to use. So here's what I'm going to do at the top to make that dark work for me. So I'm going to put little stars up there and do those with the same silver. And then here's the piece that I'm going to put on the dragonfly wings where they're all come together, so that it doesn't look all, you know, pieced together. You can see all the lines where they, glued them down. So I'll just glue that right on top and make it look a little bit more cohesive. And I heat embossed that little piece too. You didn't catch that. So that's where that's going to get used. It doesn't look as huge. So here's a nice mistake I made. I thought it'd be awesome to have a little ribbon for the sentiment inside. Well, as you can see, that turned out about like a soup sandwich. So I cut one out of some nice blue paper that I found. Like, it's a metallic type of blue. I found one banner and I just cut the ends off of it. Heat embossed it with a gold happy birthday, and I punched holes in it because I'm going to make it a banner that's being carried by the dragonfly. And I'm kind of placing how I'm going to kind of want it to go. I think it'll fit, and I'll make it look cohesive. So right here I'm putting this Ranger it's like glue stuff, a glossy stuff, I forget. She told me what it was, but I'm just using it to reinforce the back side of those holes because I didn't have the edge margin, or the distance between the hole to the edge. The smaller that is, the weaker the hole. So I wanted to reinforce it so it didn't just break off real easy. So I'm using some shimmer pen here, Nuvo shimmer glossy pen, to give that a little bit of nice shimmer effect. So I'm covering up some of the excess ink marks at the bottom. I'm just cut off a piece of pearl white paper, a nice little paper there. And as you can see, there's about a 2-inch strip at the bottom that you can write on, because guys, we're men of few words sometimes, so we don't need a whole lot of empty space to write. So here's the front. I'm gonna start putting some stuff down, and here's the first thing, the sun. Now you're gonna see me make a mistake here, and it's kind of an irritating one. I had it all lined up, and then I went to put it down, and it's like it rotated right in midair. So you got it pressed down nice and firmly, and make sure it's not gonna move. That way when I do find out that I messed up, there's no chance of peeling that intricate sun up. I'm starting to realize something doesn't look right here. Like, that's not right. That sun is way on his side. It's like he's sleeping or something. So, dang. Well, it'll have to work. Alright, so we got the happy little clouds. Glued 2 down and used double back tape on 2 to give depth. I'm starting to realize it doesn't really seem like a birthday card. There's nothing on the front that says birthday, and no sentiments or words or nothing. So as you can kind of see there and from the picture before, I used some ribbon to tie that banner to the dragonfly, and I put him on with double back tape as well. So here we're making an envelope. I didn't want to try and make an envelope from some plans, so I just took 2 business envelopes, I cut them up, and I glued them together. I figured that was the easiest way, so I just opened the top of the part I just cut, or the one I didn't cut. Now I'm putting the cut one in the top. I'll just glue the 2 together. Make sure to glue all the little sides and whatnot, so there's no loose edges that'll get caught on other letters when they're jamming it in the mail bags, or get caught on the postal equipment. So I make sure all the loose flaps are secured pretty well. Glue it, and then I pull the little sticky stuff, the backing off the sticky part, so that's holding it as well. And bam, a nice quick easy envelope. Yeah, it has a couple lines on it from where it was attached. Oh well. So now I'm going to put a backer on it so that I can cover up all the ink stuff on the back, all the little extra ink marks. I'm just going to cut it out. I probably should have used scissors instead of the X-Acto knife, but well, it is what it is. The fun part about this video is that Amanda doesn't get to see it till it goes live, so she has no idea what's in it. So check out the comments for her reactions, and don't forget to check out Renee and Kelly's video on her channel, Delaney Jane, which will be linked in the description box. If If you have questions about what I used, or any stamps or dies and whatnot, you'll have to ask in the comments, because I didn't really keep a list going, and I'd be guessing at this point. I think it turned out well. Here's the front with the sentiment I went with to make it look more like a card. Here's the inside with all the final details. Thanks for watching. Bye.